Why is it so hard to heal from borderline personality disorder? As a psychiatrist, the way that I explain it is it's because borderline personality disorder is not one thing. It's more or less three things. So a process of healing in borderline personality disorder involves a process of healing each individual thing. The first thing is a person's concept of self. To understand this, we have to think about a person's earliest life. Oftentimes, people with borderline personality disorder were brought up in a very invalidating environment. Not just invalidating, not consistently invalidating, but inconsistently invalidating in a very unpredictable way. And this was going on in a person's earliest life when they were trying to define who they are and how they relate to others. Therefore, they developed a very unstable sense of self, a very unstable self-image, because it was hard for them as a tiny child to stabilize their identity relative to the stable identities of others, because those others in their lives did not present a stable interactive front. So when someone is trying to heal from borderline personality disorder, one of the things they're trying to do is in some ways stabilize or solidify that concept of self. The second thing that they must heal is the way that they pattern their interactions with others. In that earliest life, when somebody has such a difficult environment to cope with, they learn to survive less than to thrive. And it becomes a game of threat detection. Now, when you're dealing with a threat, you want to immediately categorize it. Is it all good or is it all bad? If it's all bad, I need to cope with it to save my life. And that's why relationships for people with borderline personality disorder can be remarkably unstable, because their brain is automatically categorizing others as all good or all bad in order to protect themselves from the possible downside of getting that judgment wrong. That is a developmental foundation of something called splitting or black or white thinking, which is a hallmark of borderline personality disorder. So part of the healing process is learning that nobody is all good or all bad, and that's a really, really hard lesson to learn. The third massive healing effort that a person would be making is distress tolerance. One of the hallmarks of borderline personality disorder can be self-injury, self-harm, or explosive and unpredictable behavior. But folks come by this very honestly, because these are honest attempts to react to the true volume of emotion they're experiencing, which again came from an early life necessity to survive. It takes a lot of trust and effort to try other things, to rely on other people, to develop an entirely new system of distress tolerance that is safer and more. Taken together, this is why healing from borderline personality disorder isn't like healing a cut. It's a bit more like trying to build a house of cards on the deck of a ship during a storm in the middle of the ocean. But the beautiful thing is that the process of building that house of cards is the process of quieting the storm. And as a psychiatrist, it's a privilege to be a part of that healing every day. But as always, I'm interested in learning from you. If you or a loved one have been through this process of healing, what was it like for you? What helped and what would have been more helpful? As always, I look forward to learning from you in the comments.